Hi there, welcome to another video from Parker Adams Boat Sales. I'm Jonathan Parker and this is
Andrew Adams.
And we're going to show you today this Hanse 370. We're going to show you all the features it has to offer, and we're going to show you interior and external features, and you'll really appreciate what a great boat this is.
So it's a 2007 boat, and I think what makes this boat a little bit unique in terms of some of the other Hanses that have been on the market in the last couple of years is it comes with really two sets of sails. So you've got a set of sails for cruising and you've also got a set of sails for racing. Now this boat was used for club racing very successfully by the previous owner, and that's evident from some of the features that are on board the boat that we'll run through, and the sail wardrobe, which has been really well looked after. Just a point about the boat, she's in fantastic condition, but one thing you may notice is there isn't a spray hood and there also isn't a sail cover. Those are actually on order and should be here within the next couple of weeks. So when looking at the boat, if you look at the listing, then we'll add some more photographs, including the new spray hood and sail cover when it arrives. So let's crack on with the video.
Right, well here we are at the back of the Hanse 370, and I just want to show you first of all the entrance to the yacht. You can see it's actually got a nice open entrance. There is actually a washboard that comes down here, but we can step on and off the back of the yacht quite easily. It is quite difficult on some yachts to get on and off. The only real access is on the side, but with this one you've got nice easy access for loading gear on and off. So I quite like that. We can put a washboard in there. The other thing I want to show you though is we can start to see sort of the previous owner and the one before that, because it is only a two-owner boat, the design and what they wanted to do with this boat, and it was aired around racing. And we can start to see that when we actually look at the instrumentation, because we've actually got quite an array. We've actually got instruments for speed, navigation, wind and depth on both sides. So it doesn't matter which side we're on and which side we're sailing on, we can actually get our eyes straight on the instrumentation. And it's also repeated up at the mast, and we'll show you that in a bit as well. It's also repeated up there, so we've got a clear view of the instrumentation as well. And it's also fitted with autopilot, and obviously we can see our wind direction and steer pilot here. So all in all, it's kind of, you can start to get a picture of this was used for racing, but also long distance as well. So this has been used for long distance sailing as well as racing locally. So it does have a bit of a pedigree when it comes to it. So as we go through, hopefully you'll start to appreciate that. Right, the other thing I just want to show you quickly is on some yachts it's very difficult to get to the rudder and the autopilot system, but on here you can simply lift this up and we've got the autopilot motor, the linkages, and the rudder indicator on here as well. So all in all, if we do need to do anything to rectify this, we don't have to clamber around in the aft cabin and opening up the rear. We can actually have good access here straight away, and we can keep an eye on it all, and it's good for maintenance as well. So all in all, this is quite a nice little feature, and of course it does cover up entirely with the lid down like that. All the decking is on here, it's all teak throughout the cockpit. It isn't teaked around the sides, but we've got this is real teak all around the cockpit and on the seating. There's also new cushions that are going to be coming for the seating area as well. And that's going to be grey to reflect the colour of the hull. And don't forget, this is also a cruising yacht. So it's not only is it set up for racing, it's also a lovely cruising yacht as well. And we can start to see how we can relax on here as well. We've got two bench seats, like I said before, there'll be new cushions for here. And there's a fold-up cockpit table as well, which we can open out, and actually we can get 4 or 5 people round here for a nice evening drinks or a meal. So all in all, this is also a very sociable boat. This table as well does just fold down, as most do, and we don't have to remove it though. It will just fold down and find itself away entirely, so we can actually clear the cockpit area for running around if we need to. Okay, well the Hanse 370, this is actually fitted with a Yamaha 3YM30 engine on a sail drive, and it has a folding prop as well, which again reflects the fact that this is used for racing. The controls, you start the engine up and down here, but the actual controls putting it in and out of gear are just down here, which is actually in some ways it's quite helpful, because a lot of them I've actually fitted on the side of the pedestal here, and the problem with that is that it can get quite awkward to put it in that. You end up putting it through here, and when you want to steer, it's a bit of a pain. So it is actually quite nice and handy for it to be down here out of the way, and if it's down out of the way, you're less likely to cause too many problems with it by knocking it, for example. So all in all, the 3-way M30 is a nice little unit. It's on a sail drive. So also in the cockpit area are these nice storage lockers. So there's one either side, they're identical. They're not as deep as some, because this is actually the tri-cabin layout. So we've got 2 rear cabins and a forward cabin. So it do have lockers either side. There are sails stored in the other one, as well as all your hoses and everything like that you'd want in this side. So there are useful spaces. Also under where I'm seated, there's actually a gas bottle, and there's a second gas bottle on the port side as well. So we've actually got 2 gas bottles. Again, you know, that helps with more long distance sailing. And again, don't forget, this is a category A ocean going sailing boat. So this is capable of doing long passages in open sea. So having as much capacity for things like cooking is a real advantage. Okay, so a couple of things about the sailing ability of this boat. As I mentioned earlier, this boat has been raced as well as cruised, and it's set up with 3 really good sized winches here, which gives excellent control over all of the sails. Nice little touches like these little rope clips here, just to keep your ropes nice and handy. And the other thing to mention as well is there is a Harken traveller which is able to be fitted across the back here, which gives you more control over the mainsail. Now, this doesn't need to be fitted all the time, but if you're racing, apparently it's made quite a big difference. So that is available with the boat, but it's not currently fitted. So what we'll do, we'll carry on walking up the bow. I'll show you the self-tacking jib system and also the anchor locker. Okay, so just a little bit more about the sails. So on this boat, it's fitted with, there are 6 sail options. So you have a cruising main, which was new in 2011. You have a Genoa, you have a jib, you have a racing foresail and a racing main. Now, it also comes with a storm jib, which has never ever been used. All the sails are original sails, but have all been really nicely looked after, with the exception of that cruising main, which was replaced in 2011. Now, you've got a self-tacking jib system here, and actually the total sail area of this boat is about 68 square metres, so it's a good amount of sail area, and which is one of the reasons why this boat is well regarded in terms of a performance sailing boat, as well as being a comfortable cruising boat. If we walk forward, I'll show you into the anchor locker. So I'm here now in the anchor locker, and as Jonathan said earlier, this boat has been spec'd really from a racing point of view as well as cruising. And one of the things that you can see from the racing element is the fact that it doesn't have a anchor winch. It's all done manually, and it's a half rope, half chain situation. In fact, I think there's more rope there than there is chain. Now, what that really means is weight saving. So we estimate that when you take away the need for additional batteries, take away the need for the actual anchor winch itself, the need for an extra 30-40 metres of chain, then there's probably a good saving there of somewhere around 100 kilograms, which is substantial. So it's a large, generous size locker here. You could also use this for some storage, as long as the storage didn't get in the way of the safety features of the anchor. Then it's a good space here, but as I say, with the chain and the rope, it's ideal for that weight saving from the racing element of this boat. Well, here we are in the main saloon of the Hanse 370, and it's huge down here. It's a very, very light, spacious area around a large table, and there's actually 6 people you can get around here quite easily. It's not the only one. There's actually another table there with two more seats, which is the navigation table. We'll show you that in a minute. But it's lovely, and there's loads of storage space, storage underneath, storage cupboards. But the boat itself, it's 37 foot and 3 inches. That's 11.35 meters long. I'm just going to come around here. The whole length though is 11.25. That's 36 foot 11. So the length of the row is 37 foot 3, but the whole length is 36.11, and the water length is 33 foot. It's 12 foot 4 inches wide, which is 3.7 meters, and it has a draft of 1.95 meters, so just under 2 meter draft, which is 6 foot 5 inches. The weight of it is 7.2 tons. Okay, so we got tanks as well. The engine option on here, like I said, was a 30 horsepower, and it has a 140 litre fuel tank. We have a freshwater tank as well of 300 litres. This does actually have a hot water tank as well, which does heat up off the engine, but also off the mains power as well. I've already said it's actually it's category A ocean, and it's got the 3 cabin layout. So we're here in the saloon and we'll actually show you the 3 cabins, and then you can just appreciate for yourself the actual space in here. And really, as it's set up for racing sailing, which is brilliant, it's actually a very comfortable cruiser as well. So this is really the best of both worlds. So let's carry on. Well, here we are just the other side of the saloon, and we can see we've got 2 seats and another small table, and it's also the nav table, so it's also navigation chart, so you can sit here and do all your planning. Storage underneath, but also we've got access to some of the instrumentation. So we've got all the ones up on, obviously, in the cockpit, but down here we've got the chart plotter, and also this has AIS as well. So it looks original to 2007, but it has the AIS built into it. And we've got a CD stereo, as well as the VHF with DSC, and there's also a Furuno Navtext system as well. So again, for long distance sailing, ocean going sailing, we've got the AIS and we've got the Navtext as well, DSC radio. So again, we're all set up for this. Just above my head as well, there's actually a satellite EPIRB as well for safety, and that's obviously very useful, obviously out in the ocean. If you need help, we can set that off and it'll pinpoint your position. So all in all, again, very well, good layout. Storage areas around here, cupboard there, a bit of storage behind here, and again under the seats. So all in all, very good layout.
And into the galley area. Nicely appointed gallery. It's a galley. Nicely appointed galley. It has everything that you need. Something that we've noticed actually is that the fridge is a huge fridge. So we're also selling a Moody 45DS at the moment, and in fact it has exactly the same fridge. So access to the fridge from the top. You've also got a small freezer compartment. You've got a basket there for vegetables and things, but then you also have a really nice stainless steel isotherm entrance into here, where you can get access to things you need easier access to from the fridge. So it's enormous. The fridge runs from this section here all the way down to there. So here you have a double sink setup, which is really, really nice. And then here you have a gimbaled gas hob. It's covered up, you can lift that back to reveal there, or if you want to cover it up, you just bring that forward and drop it down and increase work surface. Something a lot of sailing boats don't do is have this additional space here, so you end up with not that much working surface. So it's really nice to have it. Loads and loads of storage. Each of these lockers is really, really big and deep. So this locker here goes right the way through to the hull, and then again we've got additional storage space here. Another thing that's nice about this boat is it's not fully cluttered with lots and lots of the owner's stuff. There's very, very minimal things on here, so this boat really is ready to go. That's it for the galley area. Let's move on to the cabins. Okay, so we've spoken before, this is the tri-cabin layout of this boat. Now I think that having a tri-cabin in a 36, 37 foot sailing boat is absolutely fantastic. I've got 2 children myself, and the idea of separating them so they have a good night's sleep and aren't up all night chatting is a really appealing feature. So I'll just show you one of the cabins, because the other side is a complete mirror image of this. But what you have here is a really nice long bed. Now if I go into it, go right the way to the back here, you can see I'm about 5'10". I've got plenty of space here, so someone who's 6 foot would still have full length bed there. You've got a couple of reading lights here, and then you have a heating outlet. The boat has got warm air Webasto heating throughout the whole boat, so it really is an all-round boat, all year-round boat. You also have here a cupboard. Now the cupboard on this side you have set to shelves. On this side you have got hanging space. Close that up, and you also have access to the engine. So you have side engine access here. Jonathan in a minute will show you the nuts and bolts of the YM30 that's in this, but if you want to get side engine access, then it's available here. That's about it to say here, but you have two identical cabins, one either side of the boat.
Hopefully you should know what we're looking at now. This is the engine. So it's a, like I said, I think I said it several times now, it's a 3YM30 Yanmar engine on a sail drive. Now a couple of months ago, where are we now? We're at the end of July, so about 2 months ago this boat was actually out the water. The sail drive was serviced with new anodes and oil change. And this was then put back in the water, and it hasn't actually been used since. So the sail drive has actually had no hours on the newly serviced drive. The engine, however, is just due a service. But really on an engine like this, they're so basic, it is just an oil and filter change. So a very simple one to do on this, because the main thing is the sail drive service, and that's been done. But in here we can see it's quite good access to the front. Good access to check the oil, check the water, check the belts. The impeller's fitted down here, but there is a good 3 or 4 inches in front of it. So again, for changing impellers, it is useful. This front section can be removed by undoing the screws for better access, but really I wouldn't have a problem doing the impeller on this one in the position it's in. Also, we've got side access. So a lot of yachts, it's quite difficult to get down the sides. The starter motors this side, the oil filters this side can be quite difficult. But as you can see, ta-da, we can get through this side. And we've got another panel identical this side that we can get off as well. And we've got a good height to the engine bay. So another problem with engine bays is that it's very tight on the top of the engine for actually getting in over the back to see the sail drive and check the sail drive all. But again, this is very easy. And we've got a top up for the coolant up there as well. We've got the water strainer there. And I've noticed as well, this is actually fitted with ultrasonic anti-fouling. So not only is it anti-fouled, it has an ultrasonic anti-fouling. If you don't know, there basically sends ultrasonic waves. There's normally 2 of them on a boat this length, one further forward, one further back, and it basically tries to help stop the anti-foul from forming. Not the anti-foul, to help stop the marine growth from forming on the bottom of the boat. And it does that by just irritating them enough with the ultrasonic that they just go somewhere else, probably the boat next door. Okay, so that's the engine. Nice little setup, nice little engine. I like these. Really, you don't get too much trouble from these engines. I am a marine engineer, and I do always like to see this setup. It is one of the best little setups you can get. So let's move onwards and upwards.
As you can see, I'm now in the fore cabin, and this cabin is quite basic in what's around, but you've got everything that you need. So as you can see, you've got a nice full-length bed here. You've got a couple of the additional sails here. I mentioned earlier it's got a really comprehensive sail wardrobe. These can of course be kept on the boat or kept away from the boat depending on what you're doing with your cruising or bracing. You've got 2 big wardrobe spaces, both on either side. And what's quite nice is you've got a big dressing area here. Quite a lot of boats, particularly around 36, 37 feet. The bed comes to about here, and you really don't have anywhere that you can get changed. If you've got family, friends down for the weekend, then you can close the door, quite happily get changed in this area without the need for asking everyone to leave the cabin while you get dressed in the morning. So it's a nice size space. There's also a couple of courtesy lights on either side here. So if you were in bed reading at night, again, you've got access to turn these lights on and off from the bed. Everything you need is in here, plus a very, very large hatch. Throughout this boat, it has surprised me how light the boat is. We've done a couple of viewings on the boat so far, and everyone has commented when coming down below that it is a very light and spacious feeling boat, and particularly in this front cabin.
Here we are in the shower room of the Hanse 370. And I particularly like where I am at the moment because I'm actually sat down in the shower. And I love this concept because quite often, if you want to have a nice shower, it is nice just to sit down and have a shower. But of course it is full height, and this door is great as well. So the door just simply shuts. It's not a curtain or anything like that. Well, I'm standing now, and wouldn't normally wear sunglasses in the shower, so I'll take them off. Oh, well, I wouldn't normally wear clothes in the shower, to be fair. But we've got really good headroom here. So I'm 6 foot. And I'm just about touching, but again, for becoming into the side of the boat, and the side of the boat here is actually really good headroom. So yeah, the shower is brilliant. I love a separate shower. It just saves everything else getting wet. And you do double the point. It's actually got a coat hook in here as well. So you can put your wet weather gear in here as well. So if everything is soaking, you get it out of the way, and it still leaves the toilet and the sink free for use. In the front part of the heads here, it's actually, it's very spacious. This whole room is spacious. Apart from the separate shower behind me, we've got a moulded sink, we've got the toilet here, and very good headroom at the toilet as well. As I say, I'm 6 foot and I'm not quite touching the ceiling. It does have a holding tank as well. The holding tank is fitted here. It's a gravity one, so you can pump it into here and then you can open it and let it go, or it has a suck out as well. So again, another good system, another good benefit to the boat is having a holding tank. And again, it's just a very spacious area. There is a large mirror in front of me here, and also another hook on the side. You go.
Okay. Right, so we hope you've enjoyed this yacht tour of the Hanse 370. I think it's an excellent boat. I think it's got really, really well thought out features. It's designed and will really appeal to people who are both looking for a fast cruiser racer and people looking to have lovely family holidays on it, because loads of space, loads of light, and lots of features that I think will be really beneficial for many, many families.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, a very good example of the Hanse 370, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to our channel, check out our other videos at Parker Adams Boat Sales, and check out our website for latest boats available, as well as our YouTube channel and Facebook channel as well. So thanks again, and we'll show you another one soon.
Indeed. Thanks so much for watching.